Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name's Christine, and this video is part of the Inky background series, and we are going to be discussing watercolor markers, and I have the distress markers to use. So here was a background I did. Now typically markers are used for like coloring stamps and different things like that, but I just want to show that you are able to create some backgrounds using the markers. And it's just simply drawing lines and painting it out. So I'm just going to show you sort of how I did this. We'll see if it turns out the same. I'm not sure. I'm using a watercolor paper, and I'm using the smoother side. There's the rough side and the smoother side. I just prefer to use the smoother side. And so I'm going to start with, this is Mermaid Lagoon. And there's a brush end and a fine tip end, and I always use the brush end. And all I'm doing is putting a line of color across. That one line of color is going to give us a lot of ink. And so I have my brush, and as soon as the water touches it, you can see it there's no longer that really distinct line, and I'm able to just bring it down. So it's getting very soft as I go down. I'm going to go up a little too. But you can see how far. So if you were coloring like a stamp, you only need like a little dot of ink, and it would probably color in like your image. Now I'm just going to put a little bit because I don't want it really dark. Just to add a bit more color for the bottom. Now I can add in some other colors. This one is Peacock feathers. My fingers have ink on them and are getting on. So I'm just randomly putting the ink in places, and then now in this case, some of my lines are staying. But I think if you build it up, you can work it into your background. So the point is, though, that you can blend in some other colors. What is this one? Tumble glass. So that's very soft. So I can put it in. So now that I have a bit more down, I think I'll go back to my mermaid. And even on the side like that, put a few more. And by doing this, you're able to get sort of those darker water marks. Like you can see here how I have these lines, and that's how I'm creating sort of the texture and depth to the background. We're getting a little bit of it in there. I just wanted to do a bit of the top. And so when I do the top, I sort of start at the top. Now this is worn lipstick. And I'm going to put sort of more than the blue just because I want it a little bolder in color. And then this is carved pumpkin. Now this marker is a little dry, but sometimes if I put it in the water, then you can see how you can sort of refresh it up a bit and more ink will come off. And I can blend that orange right in with the pink. This one is mustard seed, and you can see here it's dry, so again I just put it in with the water and then suddenly it's a lot better. And I put quite a bit yellow on, but I can blend that into the sky. And then I want a bit more depth up there, so I like to use a red. I have Festive Berries. Again, it seems like a lot of my markers are dry, but you just dip them in the water and you're good to go. And I think I'll add a bit more pink. And so you're just playing around. It's nice calming technique. I want a bit more of a line here, so I'm going to go back with my Mermaid Lagoon. I'm going to just wipe this up because I have a lot of pinks. To make it more of a defining line there. You can have it, even add in a little bit of green, twisted citron. And the other good thing about markers is you have a lot of control of where your color goes because you are putting them on in little bits. So if you're a person who likes more control in your creating, then you may really like to use the markers because you're putting the marker exactly where you want it. Oops. I'm just going to try and blend that a bit. Seems very squared. And the markers are always reactive. So if you finish it and then you decide, oh, I want to add something else, you can still go in and add some more to it. And as soon as you add water to it, they'll react again. So that shows you a little bit. You have the new one and the old one. Of what you can do with the markers. Now, of course, you can do something more organic, not so landscapey. Or just use them for little bits to add a bit of color to your background. But there you go. And that is the watercolor markers. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos on YouTube. And for more Inky backgrounds, be sure to check out the Inky background playlist.